This year's Press Freedom Index is recording the biggest downfall ever for Hong Kong. That is losing 68 ranks, that now ranks 148. And unfortunately, this is fully justified. Over the past year, the Hong Kong government have actually enforced the infamous national security law passed by China against journalists. On the first year, it was mostly used against political dissent in 2020, but in 2021, it has fully been used against journalists, against the media, against freedom of the press. Apple Daily was shut down, 10 News was shut down, and we currently count 12 journalists and press freedom defenders detained.
World Press Freedom Day was created by the United Nations to celebrate the right to free expression, which is enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This month, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights will be visiting China. So what should she know about the situation for press freedom there? And what can she possibly do or say to help things?
We actually have sent a copy of our past reports on China to Mrs. Bachelet, including the last report we published last December, which is called The Great Leap Backwards of Journalism in China. The situation of human rights in China, and especially freedom of information, is worse and worse every day. We count over 120 journalists and press freedom defenders jailed in China. It's harder and harder for the Chinese people to access uncensored information. So this absolutely has to be mentioned and to be investigated.
Finally, World Press Freedom Day is also an occasion to celebrate the right to free expression. So is there anywhere in the region, in East Asia, where press freedom is getting stronger, improving?
We are lucky in East Asia to have some democracies that enforce press freedom and that make efforts to bring improvements. This year's ranking sees Taiwan increasing 5 ranks. Taiwan is now 38. It's not that the media situation is really better in Taiwan, but it's just that some other countries have moved down. South Korea, for example, has lost 1 rank and is currently 43rd. I would say the big difference between Taiwan and South Korea is that in South Korea, there is quite an important phenomenon of harassment on journalists online that does not exist in Taiwan. We haven't seen much improvement in Taiwan with regards to press freedom. It's still very difficult for journalists to enforce their independence from the boardroom. And we also see a lot of conflict of interest due to the fact that most of the mainstream media belong to corporations that have major business interests and that somehow use their influence to support these interests.